Just sprayed some in my eye. Don't try this at home, people, please. So these things are huge. They are massive. They are ridiculous. They're not a golf grip. They feel like a cricket bat handle or the handle of a baseball bat. But one of golf's most analytical thinkers, best ball strikers, uses these exact grips. So why is he using this jumbo thing? And rather than being ridiculous, can these actually help improve your game? Hey everybody, Peter Finch here, and if you are a new watcher to the channel or a returning watcher, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow and will really help me out. And today we're looking at the golf grips that Bryson DeChambeau uses on his golf clubs. And like many things that Bryson does, these are a little bit weird. Now just stop for a second. I know you might be hovering over going to watch some dog or cat videos, and I can't blame you, they're the best thing online. However, the golf grip is probably the most underappreciated part of golf equipment. It is your only point of contact with the golf club, so a change of the grip could drastically alter your game. So stay tuned, because that is what we're going to be looking at. If a change in grip, and certainly something like this, can actually have an effect on overall technique, because that's why Bryson's using it, and could you benefit as well? Or would this be a horrendous mistake for you? So this is the Jumbo Max Ultra Light XL Grip by Dominant Golf. That's quite the name. So Dominant Golf say this grip is 20 to 25% lighter than a normal grip. Apparently it promotes a light, even grip pressure that gives you faster club head speed. And this massive oversized profile, according to Dominant Golf, will also give you a better knowledge of where that club face is through the point of impact. Now Bryson actually holds the club in quite an unusual way, and that's why he probably prefers using these grips. So in the left hand, the top hand, if you are a right-hander, obviously if you're a left-hander, switch this round, you generally want to be seeing the grip running from the base of the little finger through the fingers until it exits the middle of the index finger. Then that left hand wraps over and you'll be seeing about 2.5 to 3 knuckles when you look down on the grip. Now what Bryson does, he actually runs the grip much more up through the palm of the left hand. Now that has a couple of interesting effects, but for Bryson it actually allows him to weaken his left-hand grip. Now with a weak left-hand grip, what you would expect to see is more shots going off to the right-hand side, because the club face will generally be more open, unless you do some things with your wrists, such as bowing and putting them in flexion, which is, surprise, surprise, a little bit of what Bryson does through impact. Now, just because Bryson DeChambeau is doing something doesn't mean everybody should do it. He swings the club in a pretty unique way. However, I think there are some benefits to this grip that other golfers can have. I know Stephen Castaneda, one of the good lads, he's put these on his clubs. I think he might have actually taken them off now. But just because they are a ridiculous size doesn't mean they're not for the general golfing population. Well, that's what we're here to find out. But what Bryson doesn't want to see is a shot going off to the left-hand side. And what he feels like, if he can get the club running up through the palm of the left hand, the top hand, he can keep that club face nice and square to the target for much, much longer. And when you see pictures or videos of Bryson post-impact, especially with his irons, he's holding off that left wrist massively. He's really trying to keep that club face as square to the target as he possibly can. And for him, he says that eliminates a lot of that left shot. Now what I've done is I've bought a re-gripping kit from Amazon. I think it only cost about 10-15 quid. And that came with some gripping solvent, just white spirit, some double-sided tape, and a knife that I could cut off some old grips with. And that's the reason I'm dressed in my scruffs to begin with, because, well, I'm going to re-grip a very special set of clubs. Now these are a 1-length set of irons. These are the actual clubs that Bryson uses. Cobra Forge Tech 1-length. And I actually did a video on these in Dubai, which of course you can watch here if you want to. So to have 1-length clubs with these grips, I can really try and get a sense of what Bryson is trying to do. But I need to get the grips off, and then I need to go put the new ones on. And then I'm going to put them up against an FSX Skills Challenge. Now I want to add a little bit of a warning onto this video. If you are going to re-grip clubs, get yourself a nice workbench and a clamp that you can actually put the clubs in and then re-grip at ease, lining up that grip perfectly. However, I don't have one of those, so I'm going to use a wall and hope I can get this done before the rain begins. So it's pretty simple. Double-sided tape goes onto the grip. I use the re-gripping solvent, which has a fresh smell, is non-toxic, non-flammable, non-irritable, and my favorite, good for many tapes. You know what, it's been a long time since I filmed outside. I'm all very self-conscious here. It's not often you do re-grips behind the back of the bins, hiding away. Okay, nice and snug. That bit of tape comes off. God, this is the time I love to have a garage. sprayed some in my eye. Don't try this at home, people, please. So I've often feared I'm the most impractical person in the world, and I think that's just proved it. Spraying myself in the eye with white spirit. I've also given myself 2 unbelievably deep paper cuts. Like, oh my God, what an idiot. So if you are going to re-grip your clubs, go to a pro shop, make sure that they can do it without damaging themselves. Absolute nightmare. However, we have got, I don't know why I'm shouting, I've got a lav mic on. Got the grips on the clubs and they're ready for the FSX Skills Challenge. I'm actually going to hit a few first of all, just to get myself loosened up and just to give my first impressions of the grips. But I've also put one on a driver, so the Mizuno ST200. It was just the first one I came to. I don't have Bryson's Cobra driver. I also don't have any Cobra wedges, but I've got an old mill grind 56, so I'll put it on that for some of the short wedge shots. So I'm just going to start with some full 56-degree wedges to the 100-yard target. I have to say, they feel, these grips, so big. It actually makes the club head feel tiny. They're that big. What I really want to be testing out here, I want to be seeing if I can get the feeling that I can hold that club face a little bit squarer down target line as I hit, and that I don't have too much hand rotation. So I'm going to put it up through that palm, slightly weaker left hand grip. Wow. I tell you, that felt like a lot of effort coming through impact. This is going to be such a hard thing to actually explain, because unless you've actually held a grip this big, like, there's nothing really to compare it to. Literally, if you have a cricket bat or a baseball bat, just get into a golf posture, have a swing and feel what it might be like. It's so strange. Not too bad. So I go to 160 yards with the 8-iron. I think again this might get a little bit more difficult. They feel, actually, you know what? The feel of the grip is very, very soft. I can understand what they mean, Dominant Golf, about the grip being quite light as well. It feels like if you were to grip like a big piece of cork, that's the sensation that I'm having. Just in case you ever feel the need to get a big piece of cork in your hands. Now remember, these are 1-length irons, so everything is a 7-iron length. So I'm going to be playing it just forward center of my stance. Okay, it's a decent start. Now Bryson, as he gets it up through the palm, he does kind of lead in with a bit of flexion in that left wrist, which we might get into a bit later. So I'm just going to try and almost bow that left wrist a touch and then try and hold it coming into impact. Interesting. This could be fun. Driver. Ball position obviously changes a little bit now. The club gets longer. 7.5 degrees I've set this to, which I'm pretty sure what Bryson has actually. Oh, this feels so weird. Wow, okay. That was not going left, was it? Oh my God. All things considered, not a bad shot really. With the wedge, it actually felt quite nice. With the driver, this feels just absolutely insane. Nah, that is horrendous. Like, that feels so alien. All right. That's the sensation that I need to get, and that's really tricky. It's feeling like I've got a bit of a bow in that left wrist, and then I'm holding the club face down the target line for as long as possible. Right then, time for an FSX Skills Challenge. Let's see what the Jumbo Max can do. So the FSX Skills Challenge here, using the quad and the Foresight software. If you don't know what this is, there's 14 targets. An inner ring is worth 5 points, the white ring is worth 3, and the outer green is worth 1. I did have the world record on this. I've no idea if I've still got the world record, but with this particular challenge, I'm not going to start again. If I have a terrible start, I'm just going to plow onwards. Again, giving more of an idea of what these grips are like. Here's something which is different straight away. away. My wrist, my right wrist, I can feel it, almost like I'm using muscles that I might not quite have used before. So first shot, 10 yards, just a tiny little chip, just into the screen, let it run on down. I actually quite like the feeling of this in the wedge, it doesn't feel too bad. A little pushy, go, go. Oh, there we go. Always nice to start with a 5. Right, over the glass wall, this is a 56 degree wedge, so I'm gonna try and open it up slightly. Now, obviously when you open up a grip this big, that's a funny feeling, isn't it? 20 yards. You know what, actually rip that, sit. Ooh, struck that really well, bit far, but can't complain. So this is 30 yards, so I only need another 10 yards on from that one. $10 yards, Pete, not 28. So not sure about that grip as far as kind of opening it up goes. That felt a little bit weird. I think for like square shots, so when you're standing square, you're trying to hold it square, I can get that. Opening it up will take a little bit of work. 60 yards, 56 degree. What's a 60 yard shot? It's like a half swing, isn't it? Go on. Ooh. Not bad in the 3. 85, 3/4 again, holding the face square through impact, feeling like the bow of the wrist. Oof. I'm loving that feeling. That's really good. So 100 yards, full one now. I'm gonna switch to the pitcher wedge, have a little half swing. 7-iron length, so this now feels a little bit strange. Same feeling though, same ball position. Absolutely thin the arse off that one. Catch a piece. Into the 3, not my best. Little 3/4 swing. Go on, go on. 150 onto the 9-iron here. Isn't it strange? I suppose you don't know because you're not hitting them. But let me tell you, it's pretty weird. When you hold that position going down, it does feel like you're gonna miss right, if anything. So 165, I'm gonna go with the 8-iron. That felt amazing. Go on then. Oh, brilliant. I'm really enjoying these, really enjoying them. So 180, I think I'm actually gonna try and hit a 6, but just maybe try and shape one, maybe try and hit a bit of a fade here. I reckon if I set the face at address, set my stance, and again, get the same feeling of holding it off, could work. Look at that, a fade. I didn't quite catch it, but get a kick. Go on, edge of it, edge of it, edge of it. It's all right. Onto the 5-iron. So with the 1 length set, obviously they're all 1 length. And I do like the feeling of those long irons. Hold, 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 hold down. Go on, get a bit of the 3. Decent again though. So the 4. Ugh. That was terrible shot. 230, let's try and wallop him. 4-iron again, bow and hold, come on. Well, I need to hook it, can't hook it with these. Not too bad for a 4-iron distance wise though. 5 points for 39, that'd be a decent return. Driver, no. No, 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 no. What I'm actually going to do here, I'm going to replay the skills challenge. We don't need to go through all of this, but I'm actually, rather than going to run it up through my palm, actually feel like I'm gripping it normally, which is probably going to feel even weirder. So how do I feel about these grips after having used them for a couple of days? So I did actually hit some shots yesterday as well with these. I actually put it on this Apex MB, so finding the center of this club face was a premium. I've got two thoughts on this. I think holding it through the palm, having a little bit of flexion in that wrist leading into impact and trying to hold the face square. You know what? I can see the merits. I can understand why Bryson would do that, and other players as well. And you know what? For that, I actually quite liked it. I think some of the shorter clubs, so the straight-faced wedges and the 8-iron, the 7-iron, they were really, really good, and I could get that sensation. Bear in mind that that would be a pretty new technique for me if I was to try and implement that. And that's where I'd be struggling just a touch to recommend these, because when I was doing my normal grip hitting these, you know what? I hit some really nice big shots, but I'd struggle to say, you know what, you should switch away from a normal size grip to these. However, they were a lot more pleasant to use than I thought they would be. Would a grip like this stop a hook shot? I'm not sure. Not unless you really implemented that feeling that you were holding the club face off to target, and, you know, would that actually be the case with any grip? It's something which has been said down the years that a big grip like this would help the club face stop rolling over. Now, as far as I'm aware, and please correct me if I'm wrong on this, but that for me has only been anecdotal evidence. You know, there's no hard evidence and research which shows a thicker grip will stop the club face closing down through impact. And if that's the case, then we're just judging this grip on its merits. Bryson is using it, and there's a reason why, because it fits into his technique. So if you were to utilize some of Bryson's swing mechanics, then yeah, I mean, this could be working pretty decent. I think for a lot of golfers, this would be quite a big jump from what they're used to. But it's all about personal preference. And like I said, it was much better than I thought they would be. I thought they would be uncontrollable. I thought they'd be terrible feeling, but actually, you know what? Apart from the driver, I could use them. Right guys, big thank you for watching. Make sure you jump down into those comments below. Let me know what you think about these grips. What types of grips are you using as well? Drop a like on this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we will see you down here next time.